Coruscant was the capital of the Republic and the centre point for much of the galaxy. Essentially, if you captured Coruscant, it would turn the tide in many wars. So, how do you invade this megatropolis of over 1 trillion people? Now, for this video, we're going to be taking on the role of the Separatist Alliance in the time of the Clone Wars, and you're ordered to invade and occupy Coruscant. Now, you have to be able to hold the world for long enough for it to be used as leverage to negotiate the surrender of the Republic's worlds and to win the war for the CIS. In Legends, this similarly happened when the Sith Empire invaded Coruscant. So, how do you do it? First things first, it's going to take a lot of planning, and probably a bit of espionage. Firstly, you're going to want to scout out key military installations and identify them as targets. You're then going to hire bounty hunters and mercenaries to head to Coruscant and be ready to attack on command. These people will be able to sneak on world without being too overt. Remember, the Republic's going to be looking for droids and separatist agents. Bounty hunters could be there for any one of 1 trillion people. You may also want to enlist the help of some of the local crime syndicates. There's a great deal of them on the world, and they will have a plentiful supply of information and resources that you'll be able to use. They may also have contacts, for example in the Coruscant police force. Having law enforcement on your side when you invade would be very, very useful, and it would severely restrict Republic counterattacks. Now let's think about the biggest opponent you're going to face, and that is the Republic's fleet in orbit. This blockade was ironclad and protected the Republic homeworld from any major scale attack. So you're going to need something pretty strong yourself. Now in canon, Grievous did manage to defeat this. However, it was a losing battle, and his tactic isn't appropriate for you. He would never have been able to hold Coruscant. His was very much just a hit and run operation. Republic reinforcements were very quickly dispatched, and if he'd have stayed around for too long, he'd have been defeated. So we're going to find something from the CIS's arsenal that can deal with fleets quick and easy. And I'm going to say you need the Malevolence, or a ship of the same specification with huge cruiser-ending ion cannons. This to me seems like the only logical way you could quickly take out the Republic's blockade before reinforcements arrive. The last thing you want is to be stuck between the Republic's blockade at Coruscant and their reinforcements coming out of hyperspace. Now, the Malevolence is going to be accompanied by numerous other cruisers, and the offensive is going to be put under the command of Admiral Trench. He is a master admiral and an expert in blockading. For this reason, I believe he'll be able to decimate the Republic's defensive fleet with a ship as capable as the Malevolence. As soon as the Republic is defeated, the Separatists are going to take a blockade formation around the planet. It is important to remember that there are significant forces on the planet, and they will attempt to launch a counter-offensive. However, you can push almost all incoming craft out in one shot from the Malevolence's ion cannon. Whilst this is all happening, the bounty hunters / mercenary forces you sent down will receive word to begin their attack. Their objective is to secure points of interest, particularly any heavy cruiser penetrating AA cannons, but also securing landing zones in the Federal District. Meanwhile, you're going to begin a huge attack from orbit, launching thousands of fighters and bombers to the surface to attack military installations and dockyards. The key here is to suppress the Republic's ability to launch a counter-offensive before you've taken your targets and have troops on the ground. You don't want your landing craft being at the mercy of Republic fighters. You'll start to land as many troops as you can in the previously mentioned landing zones in the Federal District. Now, this is the real target, as this is the nerve center of the Republic and Coruscant. Once forces are assembled, they will be split into 2 groups. I've selected General Grievous, and he's going to take a legion of droids and some of the mercenaries to raid the Jedi Temple. I picked Grievous because in my opinion he is by far the best candidate for this, as in many ways he is a Jedi killing machine. Also, he'd take great pleasure in raiding the Jedi Temple. Meanwhile, I believe that Ventress would be a good candidate to lead more droids to the Senate building and take the Senate hostage. You're also going to want to send some other droids and armoured forces to siege command points such as the GAR headquarters. Now, I say siege and not invaded here on purpose. These buildings were very well provisioned and acted as fortresses, so taking them would take a huge amount of time and manpower. So it's better to just siege them and ensure that they can't do anything but watch your plan take shape. Now, the fight at the Jedi Temple would be the most difficult and definitely the most bloody. However, I believe that even elite Jedi Masters would struggle to fight Grievous, legions of droids, and deadly bounty hunters such as Bosk and Cad Bane. So I think that a Separatist victory would be imminent. Now, I don't think that they'd have the time to kill all of the Jedi in the temple. That's just ridiculous. It could take hours or even days. But I think that they would definitely do enough damage to cripple the Order for decades to come. But most importantly, it would stop the Jedi from being able to go to the Senate building and defeat the Separatists there. So we're going to say that the Jedi are butchered, along with the unprepared Coruscant Guard, any clone reserves, and the police force, if they weren't already bought off. Now, I know what you may be thinking. Well, the planet isn't actually conquered, and that's true. In reality, invading a world the size of Coruscant is a very different task. In canon, it's a mega city, and you'd be left fighting for every street and every building in a brutal long guerrilla war. But if you'd like a video on how you could potentially invade and keep Coruscant, then let me know in the comments and I'll get one out soon. Now, by this point, Republic reinforcements will have arrived. However, if they do attack, their losses would be catastrophic due to the Malevolence's ion cannon, but I highly doubt that they would. With the Senate and the world held hostage, it was simply far too risky. They'd be forced to hold position. Now, you can then begin negotiating the end of the war, and the Senate is more or less going to be powerless to refuse. You have them hostage, and it would take a bold senator to stand up to Grievous or Ventress. Not only this, but you also hold the world hostage. You can blow up a district here and there, and the Senate would be under mounting pressure to surrender. If the citizens of the galaxy see innocents dying because of some senator's pride, they're going to be furious. Now, assuming you keep your eye out for any pesky Jedi counterattacks, then the Republic will inevitably surrender under very favourable terms for the CIS. And even on the odd chance that they don't, if they select the Wildcard and decide to push through your blockade, then you still get a significant victory. You've already butchered the Jedi and destroyed numerous dockyards. Now all you have to do is kill the leadership before retreating. And at that point, you've probably won the war anyways. Without politicians or generals, the Republic's military campaign is gonna grind to a halt. But well done, you've successfully won the war for the CIS. However, in the process, you've likely killed tens of millions of innocents and are likely considered a war criminal, so bear that in mind. But what do you think about this plan? Do you think it would work? And how would you take Coruscant? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, please remember to like, share and sub as it's really appreciated and it helps the channel grow. Also don't forget to follow me on Twitter at @TheLawGuy and tick the bell to get regular updates. I really do hope that you're enjoying this content. There's much more coming in the future as I've now finished with uni for the year. But most importantly, thanks again for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.